Welcome, my name is Matt, aka Road Jedi 88. We are getting into Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Guild Territory Battle, Geonosis, Separatist Might. This is literally my second time to try to record this, because my first one failed to upload. Jerk. We are going into Day 5, still in Territory Battle Phase 3. We do have all three territories with a star victory. So my assumption is we should be good to be able to getting to the next territory tomorrow. But now this guild leader order, guild officer order was administered earlier this morning. I noticed it then. It was before we even had a victory star in this territory, but now that we are there, if it was me, looking at the measurement, they're kind of equal spacing to each other. But if we had to choose just one or the other, I say battleground. There's a little bit less to have to measure for. At max, there's 168 million requirement, whereas Sand Dunes has 172 million max. Now that 94.8 looks cute, but trying to work through my PTSD medications and run math in my head automatically without a calculator, it's a little foggy, but I do feel like with Battlegrounds, we're a little bit closer to that 109 million. Now, I might be slightly off, so don't take my word on that. But either way, considering we are evened out, we could probably kind of put a little more effort. But one thing I did notice, and I was trying to point it out in my first video, is we still have some platoon spacings that need to be filled in. Excuse me. Hey, get back in there. Alright, so we have some more platoon spacings that need a little more filling in. I did notice a lot of relic amplified characters kind of put into those places, which is good. Here's the thing, though, and I would, for okay, anyone that's in another guild that's watching this is just a simple example of what kind of like what in my scenario with my guild, what we're looking like right now. If it was your guild, you got to look at the measurements of where you're at with the victory stars. Participate with all the battles that you can. Contribute members to the mission platoons. Contribute where you can. If you can, as I pointed out, getter ranked characters, I think bumps it up. But here's the thing. We all have to remember that this is Geonosis. This is not Hoth. And this is Phase 3. The expectations are getting tougher and tougher. Whereas Hoth is practically like easy and normal difficulty territory battle modes. Geonosis is like hard and deadly difficulty mode. So, and from what I've seen of the contribution of the guild members, we have largely been contributing. If anything, in comparison to what I saw the last time we were here, this is a much better level of participation than last time we were here, I think last month. Because we see each territory battles, I think, once a month. There's 2 of each version. There's 2 different Hoths, 2 different Geonoses. You're either the light side or the dark side. Now, Fleet is kind of a Captain Obvious. It's only 1 territory space. We throw in everything we got into that one. But if we're not seeing 3 stars, it's probably because we just are not simply there. If you're in a very competitive guild, this would put the guild leaders and the guild officers in a freaking field day overseeing past territories not 3-starred up. So if you're trying to work on this and you need to build your characters up, finding a guild that considers themselves a laid-back guild, that means they're going to be they'll be accepting of a loss. Does it mean that they are going to be just slacking? No, they're still in on the competition. They're still willing to participate in the competition. but they're willing to be okay if there's a loss. Whereas the competitive guilds, they're probably going to be kicking members out that they believe was the cost of why they couldn't get 3-star victory all the way across. With that said, I believe in my guild's case, we have contributed the best that we can. We've done our best. I've seen a lot of contribution. It's been kind of split between like the different territories. So when looking at this, the ranking, I have to kind of consider where all the contributions have been set at. You know, where they've been happening at, and I'm seeing a lot more participation than I have in the last one, and I can understand why. I mean, there's so many different reasons why. People have personal lives. That's an obvious one. But outside of that, you know, coming into the game, when we look at Hoth, we're like, yay, an easy one. I look forward to this one. I know we're going to, you know, I'm going to get all kinds of rewards with this one. We take a look at Geonosis and we're like, crap, I'm going back to bed. Because we know how hard it is. You know, so, but I have to say, this is probably the best I have seen since I've been in this guild. Just since I've been in this guild. I don't know what it's looked like in the past before I was in it, but since I've been in it, I have seen a great deal of contribution, and this is probably the most success I have seen out of this one. And I could be wrong. Like I said, I've only been in this for a few months since I came back to the game, which was before that like 5 years ago. The other thing to consider before, you know, because this territory battle will be back next month. We have a month to try to work on anything that we lacked. Like this Geonosis, that Alpha Brood. Anyone who has them, bump him up as quick as you can, if possible, because he is a beautiful, mutated, overgrown locust to have in a squad battle, just with the way he fights. Okay, he's just, it's almost like running up to a hornet's nest with a baseball bat and taking a piñata swing at it, and then you get the results of what comes from upsetting that hornet's nest. You know, that's practically what you get out of the Geonosis brood alpha. So I mean, and if you're like me, you don't even have him, try to push to get him unlocked as soon as you can. And you might not be able to put him into action in the next territory battle play, but you could be building him up so that maybe 2-3 months down the line, he can be ready for it. So, it's just a matter of building up on it, and that's essentially what territory battle is. It's a testing to measure the strength of each of the guild, as well as each individual member. It's an opportunity for each individual member to kind of get to see where they are at within their gameplay overall. And they get to see just, okay, they can see just how much they have built up in their own player level experience and their powering their account up. But it's an opportunity for them to get to see just how much of their position does it contribute if it was teamed up with someone. And it's a team effort to get to see just how far we've come along since we started the game. So that's a lot of what this is. Hoth is a breeze. And I don't mean that with any pun intended. I know it's an ice planet. I mean, it's a breeze as in we could walk across the whole freaking territory battle as if nothing was touching us. But Geonosis is a whole nother story. I mean, we're ducking and diving through this thing. It is a much harder territory battle. So as long as we got strong guild participation, be grateful for that. You know, and if you unlock new characters that you hadn't contributed into the deployment, go ahead and slip them in. I know it feels like just throwing a shrimp into a pool, but every little bit counts. So, that's about all I've got for now. That was day 5, phase 3. Tomorrow, hopefully, we should be seeing phase for day 6, which is the last day. As I said, I would kind of, if it was me, I would put effort towards battlegrounds. Sorry, my dog's got some opinions about this. Actually, he's got opinions about neighbors, apparently. But yeah, I would put, I almost want to say put focus on the battleground territory next, but I mean, that's guild leader and officer's decision. This leader mark was put in place this morning, but I'd be careful about just jumping that gun until the leaders say something because of rogue actions. You know, I guess some was guilty of it, but rogue actions. I hope that's not like taking points away from us. I only contributed 1 deployment today. I birthed them out of a shard this morning. Geonosis Separatist might. I would encourage making that. Maybe if we had to choose one or the other, make that the focus. But at the same time, the measurements not much off from each other. So, I mean, we could kind of push equally because honestly, I don't know how much more further we have left to push considering we've had a strong level of contribution. And we got to expect phase 4 when we go into that tomorrow to just be downright merciless against us. We can't, I mean, don't let it scare us right back to bed when we see it, but you know, let's still face it head on, but just don't be surprised if we're, because I mean, I saw how my battles went yesterday, and I don't expect them to be any better tomorrow. I really don't, but it's not going to be from a lack of, you know, trying. So, subscribe to the channel, like the videos, comments, questions, suggestions down below, and thank you for following. May the force be with you.